Welcome, welcome. This is Lamadam. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. This will be a weekend read. I already laid the cards down. I'm ready to go. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. Very juicy. So, the first card that was laid is the Eight of Wands crossed by the star. And there is some information that is coming forward. It's coming in, some information is coming towards this star energy, a feminine. This is about a feminine. Whatever this conversation is, it's whether it's the conversation is about a certain woman, and what sits beneath this, some key players that could be in this reading, is the Queen of Cups reversed. And this person, this other feminine, this is between feminines with a S, maybe more than two females. This is the energy that's coming in. There's information coming in about these females. These females are talking, okay? And it's pretty much, I don't know, maybe woman to woman, maybe woman to woman. I don't see anything, any fights or anything just yet, but I do believe that there's information coming in about a divine female. This Queen of Cups energy, which is reversed, has some things that she wants to say. She has some information that she wants to give or provide. Whether this information is useful or not, she's pretty much coming in as though she's been around for a while. This could be a baby mama. This could be an ex. This could be, ex-girlfriend, ex-wife. But this female believes that her word is bond, and she's wanting to come and bring some sort of information to this divine energy. In the past, there's been, a lot of movement, a lot of physical movement going on, a lot of distorted energy, a lot of distorted, but a lot of distorted energy being thrown. There's been physical altercations concerning this divine, and the object, I say the object, or the hope of all of this is that by the Ace of Wands is that this conversation will be had, it will be peaceful, and hopefully it will bring some light, shed some light on the situation. I will give my opinion towards the end of this reading. I'm just reading the cards as we speak. And followed by the Ace of Pentacles in the present energy, more in the present energy. You have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. So this information that's coming, that's going to be brought, is going to hit the ball. It's gonna hit a home run. Let's put it like that. That's what I think when I think of these two cards. A home run. This Ace of Wands and Ace of Pentacles, it reminds me of, someone hitting a home run. So I don't know. This conversation is to be had between these females. It could be more than two. Could be more than two females, but I do believe that it's a woman to woman, that it's a divine and perhaps a karmic someone is wanting to bring forth conversation. Um, and again, I'll give my opinion when we're done with this reading. Um, yeah, so this conversation is going to be about this judgment. A judgment call has been brought. There's been an ending, a breakup. So someone wants to clear their name, possibly their name, you know. Now, I'm going to give my personal opinion about this card, the judgment, when it comes to this situation. It's really not much to be said. When the judgment card comes out, everything is already written out in ink. It's written out. It's already written out. You know, it's kind of like, you know, when God comes down and, you know, when God seals the deal, he seals the deal. You know, there's nothing or no one, you know, can get in between what the judge, what your judgment will be, you know. And so that's how I just look at the situation. Yeah, and so then there's a Queen of Wands here as well. So we got Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, and we got the Star. So there is more than one female. Now this Queen of Wands, I don't know where she came from, but you know, she has something to say. This could be a family member. It could be a family member. I don't know, a cousin or cousin, auntie. It could be some woman figure. You know, might want to back up some information and set the record straight. Once again, there's already been a judgment call on this situation. So to be honest, why this conversation needs to be, why it's so, why the desperation of this conversation between this femme and this divine is really unknown right now, but we will get down to the bottom of it. A fear is that someone's going to be cut out of the deal. Someone's going to be cut out. Someone's going to feel left out. You know, when this conversation is to be had, or once this information comes out, someone out of this bunch, whether the femme, the you know, the ringleader, the whatever you want to call it, the baby mama, the ex, the divine, but someone's going to be left out. Someone's going to, you know, receive some bad news. And of course, the outcome is the Two of Swords, which everything's not going to come out to the open. Like I said, someone is going to keep some things to themselves. And so they're going to stay defensive, you know, by the Seven of Wands. They'll stay defensive, and they're going to keep their emotions blocked. They're not going to trust the situation. I mean, if you ask me, that would probably, you know, if I put myself in the situation, that would be me. Because I'm, you know, like I just said, you know, to me, things are going to be what it is. You know, there's already been a judgment call. There's really no reason for this conversation. I don't know what could be said or had, you know, to where these females need to have a conversation. And so we will seek out more cards. Let's find out more about this information that we have on this board. Let's find out some more information. Spirit guides, ancestors, please show us what isn't being said. Spirit guides, ancestors, into this reading, shed some light on this situation. What can you confirm? What is this conversation about? Why does it need to be had? Who needs to say what and why? Who needs to say what and why? What is this information coming forward? Why is this information coming forward now? Spirit guides, ancestor, white light. Oh, it's about, Seven of Pentacles. So this may be about money. You know, this is about money. This could be where someone feels that they are deserving of some type of deal, ordeal, financial gain. Um, Someone feels that they're entitled to a certain cut. You know, like I said, I don't know how this conversation, let's ask, how will this conversation end? This conversation between these females, how will it end? Why is it necessary? Why is the Seven of Pentacles here? Why does she want to discuss about money and as such? Why does this person want to talk about money, investments? Why? Ace of Pentacles and the High Priestess. So this is about a principle. You know, it's like a principle. You know, someone feels that, you know, that this, it's about a principle. They feel that they were there. It could be something like between a baby mama and a girlfriend, and or ex-girlfriend, and the baby mama is probably saying things like, oh, you know, I've been there, I know everything about him, you know, I speak for him, I've been there for him, I held him down when he was in jail or prison, I was with him for such and such, I gave him children and things of that nature. So this person really feels that they have some type of hold on the situation, and they feel that this home, this fortune should be theirs. They feel like they earned it. So that's what this conversation will be about. Someone feels that they want to get their point across, that they've been around and they feel like they deserve a piece of, I don't know what type of pie is going on, to be honest. I don't, to be honest, on the outside looking in, I don't know. I can't really relate to this energy because I don't know anybody that has any money and like that, no long money like that. So I really don't know what this is about. But yeah, someone wants, that's what this Eight of Wands is here for. Tell us more for the Eight of Wands. Why does this person want to come forth and talk about this? Oh, Eight of Wands twice. We got the Eight of Wands, the two different cards. The Eight of Wands have come out. So this conversation might get a little sticky. Yeah. Because I mean, if we use the baby mama as an example situation, the baby mama and the ex-girlfriend, the baby mama, you know, wants to say, oh yeah, I've been there, you know, I did this, I went through, you know, I've been with him longer, you know what I'm saying, I gave him 2 children, blah blah blah, and so on and so on. And the girlfriend could possibly argue, yeah, I've known him, you know, you feel like, I feel like I've known him, that we've gotten closer, you know, I was with him when he was in the on the outs, you know what I'm saying, we spent every day with each other, you know, we have history together, you know, I too had children, you know, and you know, that didn't come to be, you know, but there's gonna be a conversation had, and it's gonna be almost as equal, you know. Yeah, you know him, but I know him too. I know him as well. I've been with him for 6 years. You've been with him for 17, but majority of that 17, he was in maybe prison, and but I've been on the outs with him every day. We shared every day together. We haven't been away from each other for more than, you know, 3-4 months. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, to each his own. So that's what this conversation is about. This is between these two women. Someone wants to come forward. Someone wants to have a conversation. And to be honest, I don't really see no conversation. I don't see no peaceful. to me, I don't see a peaceful conversation because, for one, this conversation, what are we like talking about? That's what I'm. What is this conversation about? About a man? And that's just where it gets kind of weird because, we're all grown here. And so I'm not going to have a conversation about a third person that should be in the conversation and is not in the conversation. So, if someone's coming to talk to me, they'll probably, there probably won't be no conversation. I won't tolerate no foolishness. So, but yeah, this might happen for someone. This might be the situation for someone. Someone might want to come towards you to discuss a situation, and they feel like they have, oh, no disrespect, but blah, 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 and things like this. And I believe that these energies know each other. I believe that they know strongly about each other. I believe the Queen of Wands, this third person, this third female, because we got the Queen of Wands, we got the Queen of Cups, and we got the Star. So the divine, the baby mama, let's say, and maybe somebody else that has a voice or wants to speak on the conversation. Although there's already been a judgment call on this conversation. I mean, it is what it is. You understand me? Somebody stayed, somebody left, somebody moved on. It is what it is. I really don't know what the conversation is about. As far as all this money and investments and stuff, that's something I think this conversation should be had with your partner. I don't think it should be among other females. I don't see all, myself, I wouldn't be having a kumbaya and things like that moment with anybody in my past, and so that's just that, so I don't know what that could be about. Is there any more information, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, White Light, on this reading? Is there any more information you would like to share? Is there any more information? How will this turn out? How will the turnout be? How will the turnout be? The Four of Swords. It's asked to not even have this conversation. It's not even worth it. It's just going to cause a headache. It's going to cause distress. And you're still going to be in that standstill situation. And then worst case scenario, you're going to say something that you didn't want to get out, and so it's probably just best to walk away. Let's confirm that one last time. Closing statement. Any closing statement about this moving forward, about this Four of Swords? Why is it asked to retreat from this conversation? Why is it asked to retreat? Once again, the Queen of Wands is here. We got the Queen of Wands twice. We got the Eight of Wands twice. A lot of wands, a lot of fiery. It's not going to be a good turnout. Like I said, someone's going to be on somebody's side. Someone's going to feel that they're not being heard. Someone's going to feel betrayed or feel like, oh, you're taking her side because you've known her. Oh, well, I've known her longer, or this and that, and I thought this and I thought that. A lot of he said, she said, a lot of bull crap, a lot of all of that. So, yeah, there it is. So, that is the reading for this weekend. This is the reading. This could happen. This could happen. I see a lot of fire in this reading. I see lots of fire. Fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, maybe a few, maybe a water sign, but maybe like a moon or rising sign or something, maybe moon or rising. But yeah, that concludes this reading. This concludes it. You guys have a safe weekend. You might want to stay away from any extra, I said we're all grown here, and we're all grown. I have children. I don't know about, I have children, so I'm not going to discuss a grown man like, oh, we're going to get together, let's get this straight. I didn't take your man, or it is what it is. Everybody has choices. And so the truth of the matter is whoever has the man, right now, go ahead and enjoy having them, because I'm not gonna fight for nothing. If something was for me, then it would be for me. And anybody that turns their back on me and against me, there's really nothing to be said. So yeah, let's just leave it there. So this concludes a reading. There'll be more. You guys have a safe weekend. Until next time. Good night.